Happy holidays, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Coffee with the Critters. You want to give me a kiss? Can I have a kiss? Oh, you want to come up too? I don't know. You're moving my screen. Okay. Happy holidays, everybody, from all of us here at the Animal Behavior Center. We got Quincy, Levi. Snow is busy on a foraging toy, and that's intentional. We've got Pipsqueak here in the background. Rocky. You can hear it. Yes. Say happy holidays, everybody. Yeah. Murray, we've got Ollie out flying around. We've got Suki. We've got Coco. We've got Sam, who's ringing his bell and saying, hi, Sam, in the background. Good morning, everybody, and welcome to another episode. All right. Peekaboo. We've got another episode of Coffee with the Critters for you. Good morning, everybody. Hey, Colleen, Sandy, Krista. Welcome to another episode of Coffee with the Critters. For those who may be new, my name is Laura Joseph, owner of the Animal Behavior Center. We're an international educational center where we teach people through our live streams all over the world in our membership program about using positive reinforcement and applied behavior analysis with the animals in our lives to empower them. Hey, Katie, I had a feeling you were going to be on here this morning because I saw your message come through. You can find out more about us on our website, the Animal Behavior. What's our website? TheAnimalBehaviorCenter.com. And I always answer each and every one of my emails. If you guys have questions about anything, you can reach me at Laura, L-A-R-A, at TheAnimalBehaviorCenter.com. So I got up this morning, good morning, and I was just like, we have several of our episodes already planned, and our manager, Sharon Pratt, helps me take care of that. We have several planned all the way up into March already. So in March, we'll be live streaming Coffee with the Critters for 4 years, every Sunday morning, except for special episodes, which we show on sometimes Saturday nights, Cocktails with the Critters. So good morning, everybody. Happy holidays, everyone. I cannot believe I just got a notification right before I went live that says, reminder, tomorrow's Christmas Eve. And I was like, wow, I have no idea where this year has gone, which is the intention behind why. What? It's the intention behind why I decided to have this episode. So this episode, I could sit here and tell you all the reasons why animals don't make great Christmas gifts. But I did that last year, and I'll put it on a blog post, hopefully before tonight. So anyways, good morning, everybody. There's Julie, Adrian, Katie, Jennifer, Sylvia, Amy. Karen is on here. Hey, everybody. Good morning. Patricia, I got a surprise for you, but you'll find out soon. You'll find out. And you're probably going to do something like cry. Good morning, Jeannie. Hey, Tim. Good morning, everybody. Morning, Margaret. So, a year in review, 2018. The reason we're doing a year in review this weekend instead of next weekend is because we have professional dog trainer Daphne Hamilton is going to be joining us next Sunday for Coffee with the Critters, and we're going to be talking. There she is, the awesome Daphne. We're going to be discussing resource guarding in addition to a lot of other behaviors. She can handle the aspect from working with dogs and definitely resource guarding in all different species of animals, including humans. Yes. So that's why we're doing the year in review. So I'm open to taking questions, but there's a couple of things I wanted to talk about. Like I was thinking this morning, year in review, what we've done this past year, what we're going to be doing the new year. We've got so many things planned for the new year. And the more I say I'm going to slow down, the more that doesn't happen. So I'm going to be taking you guys with me this new year. We've got several very exciting things happening. So first off, this next one isn't going to apply to everybody. I wish, but for those of you that are local, can't see the date because my big fat head's in the way. Good morning, Susie. Patricia, who, me cry? No, not you. We have decided last minute, because we're getting contacted by people that are in the area. Most of our business is not local because all of it is via live streams. But I just had an idea. Maybe we can do this for all our live stream viewers as well. We decided there's a lot of people coming to town for the holidays, visiting their family, people that watch Coffee with the Critters, people that follow Coffee with the Critters, and I thank you for following and supporting and liking and sharing, saying, are you open to the public? Can I stop in and see? And a lot of times, all the time, our doors here are locked. Morning, Carrie. Our doors here are locked because this is the Animal Behavior Center. We take on several different animals that have more serious behavior issues, from dogs, pigs, lemurs, ostriches. What other animals have we had in here? Opossums, parrots, raptors. So this place can be a very dangerous place to be for somebody just to walk in the front door. I would suggest if you ever walked in our front door unannounced, you just tuck and roll, just start running. And we're usually not open to the public because, as you know, Willie's out there flying around. You walk in here and surprise Quincy, it's not going to end well. You walk in and surprise Milo. Your life is not in danger, but you're probably going to be running. Anyways, so in order for us to let the public in, we have to put a lot of animals in certain locations. It's a lot of shifting and moving and making sure animals aren't stressed, making sure animals aren't porcupine. Correct. That's right. We had a stabby puppy in here one time, as Deb Jones would say. And Pat says, humans get trained here. Yes, we train humans. We primarily train humans. We help teach people how to understand behavior through working with animals. That is what we do. So anyways, we were getting these messages, and I just said, hey guys, what do you think about having an open house next Sunday, which is the 30th? I guess it does show on here. Where we open our doors and let the public in. So we're going to do that. And this will be after my live stream with Daphne Hamilton next Sunday. Then we're going to open our doors at 1 o'clock, and maybe I can bring you with me. Maybe we do some live streaming of the open house. So what we're going to do, you guys are behind the scenes with me every Sunday morning. And a lot of people don't let people see behind the scenes. We encourage people to come see behind the scenes. We want you to see the size of the cages, what we do with the animals, how we work with them. We want to show people how strong of a form of communication this is with all species, no matter what the species. So what we're going to do, we're opening our doors at 1 o'clock. And I will be giving several different talks, and a couple of it's going to be the same talk, probably 2 to 3 times. Maybe we live stream that, and I'll be giving some demonstrations, possibly with Willie the turkey vulture, definitely Cello, probably some of the dogs. The fish are pretty much not moving for the winter. Definitely with the parrots. So then what we're going to do is we're going to give behind the scenes tours where we're going to bring groups of people back here. I think that would be really cool for you guys to see how we have to control the behavior in this room, and we do that through controlling the people. And a lot of times we control people just through giving information. Bringing groups of 30 people back here at once is very overstimulating for these animals. They're not used to it, and I don't want to see what kind of behavior issues that brings about. So Um, anyways, what we're going to do is break down groups. And I was talking to Lindsay Douglas about this yesterday. She's going to come in and help. We're going to bring groups of probably 5 to 8 people at a time back here. We're going to show what the X's on the floor means. We're going to show the station, which is underneath the table, how we use that. We'll show how we work with Snow, our deaf and blind dog. Anyways, and we're going to promptly end it at 3:30. So good morning, Ray. Charlene says, wish you could be there. Why don't we do we'll live stream some of this. We'll live stream some of the groups coming through so we can bring you, our international viewers, with us. So that's what's happening next week. And we do this at most once a year. So having the public walk in here is a pretty big deal. What's the price for the open house? Free, no charge. No charge at all. So Tim, you're not too far away. If you can make it down next Sunday, you should. But anyways, like I said, we'll be giving some demonstrations showing how we work with some of these animals. What this open house is not, what it is not. It's more for adults, but we do encourage people to bring families in. What it is not is a place to play and interact with the animals. It's mostly going to be us showing you how we interact with the animals because, like I said, some of our animals here can't see, can't hear. So we really like to control that environment, but it'll be a definite eye-opener. And it's a place for people, who on here has been here to the Animal Behavior Center? We've had people from all over the United States, definitely from different countries. We've had people here from Mexico, Canada, India. I'm sure a lot more than that. But you'd definitely like to shake my hand and say thank you. Well, I would look forward to meeting you, Tim. We'll live stream it, okay? So for people who can't be here. And it's our way to say thank you. I love to show people this place. I just have my hands full, and all of us here have our hands full making enrichment. We'll give you a tour of the training room, the enrichment room, showing how we make enrichment, why, and you'll see some of the intricacies behind some of the enrichment that we make. And a lot of people that have been here say the live streams do it no justice. Good morning. Sylvia says, if you are close, go. Thanks, Sylvia. A lot of people that come here say, once they see the place, they say, wow, this is so much bigger in person than what it looks on the live streams. So you'll get to meet firsthand Quincy, Levi, Snow, Willie, Cello's probably going to land on your head, and all these wonderful creatures behind me in cages, and Milo. So that will bring you next Sunday. It's great. It's after Christmas. It's a way for us to say thank you. So, so Karen's on here as the Animal Behavior Center. So she said Sandy, and oh, cool. Sandy will be here. I've invited all the volunteers to come and just hang out, bring your family, show them what you do, because we don't let families in here. We don't let the volunteers' families in here. We try to do something once a year to bring them in. Our volunteers are here with us long term. Sandy and Karen have been with us 6 years. Lindsay and Angie have been with us almost 3 years. Kendall's been with us going on a year now. Megan's fairly new, a couple of months. But I like to provide positive reinforcement back to what I want to see maintain or increase. And I'm very proud of the volunteers and the work we do here. And I want to give that back and have the families see what they do. A lot of the volunteers here, it's not uncommon for volunteers to come in and say, I had a dream about this place last night. Lindsay was telling me a couple weeks ago, she's the one that does the whiteboard joke of the week. You guys will get to meet Lindsay. You'll get to meet Sandy, Karen, and the other volunteers that come in. And it's just, we're going to hang out, have fun. No outside animals allowed. But Lindsay was telling me she had a dream. She always comes in with, tells me her dreams. She had a dream that we had a capuchin monkey in for training, and it was in this crate right here. And I was showing her how to train it. And then she goes, what is that monkey doing? And I'm like, I don't know. And I took off running. Left her in the cage. We have a lot of great stories here. So it's a lot. And I want this no work for the volunteers. I want the volunteers just to sit back and relax. So there's going to be no prep work. Okay. There's going to be no coffee. There's going to be no donuts. It's just going to be good times, conversations. Come see what we do. Sandy says, I met the volunteers. They are wonderful. They are. Katie says volunteers run the world. They sure do. So I'm trying to think this morning, the past year, what are the things we've done? And stay tuned because I've got some cool stuff of what's coming up too. What, Rocky? I forgot to say. I forgot this was in here. Any last minute gifts? Take a look at our memberships in our projects. Our memberships, the Parrot Project just turned 3 years old yesterday and is skyrocketing. We've got interviews in level 2 coming up with other animal professionals across the world. Level 1 primarily for companion animals. So these are great gifts for anybody on your Christmas list. If you don't yet have, I'm sitting here petting Snow. If you don't yet have the gifts for your animal lovers on your list and you need it last minute, if you are interested in purchasing a membership or a project, we give a voucher. All right. That you can hand on Christmas morning. I think it's going to get very loud here for a minute. Okay. So, Carrie, Amanda, tickle wickle. So this just happened last night. This just happened last night right here. I can't get Sam out because I've got the dogs out this morning. But Sam is our blind parrot that we adopted 3 months ago from a helping wing. And no matter that I'm talking about a parrot, this applies to any animal. Nice job, Pipsqueak. Nice. Look at you, showboat. You show off. You say good morning to everybody. Say hi. Can you say hi? Say hi. You do somersault again? 1, 2, 3. Somersault. Do one, Rico. Like how I have that on cue? There you go. Nice job. Nice job. So I've got all 3 dogs at my feet. But I was saying, I don't expect people to have parrots with no eyes or parrots, period. But the importance isn't necessarily in the fact that it's a parrot. It's just, here I have, come on up, oh, on my lap, not on my chest. Here I have, I'm working with a parrot that can't see, but the importance is, what are the reinforcers? Anything can be an aversive to this animal, boom, like that fast. I still cannot touch Sam's beak with my fingers. He touches mine, I don't touch his. If I were to touch his foot right now, he would lunge at me very quick. So look at this from a standpoint from an animal that can't see. All right, how am I going to? I've already recall trained him. We're target training him. Syringe training him. The more I do not train him, what are you barking? Yeah. Why don't you come up here? People want to see you, so come here. The more I don't train Sam, the more he just sits. Why don't you come up here on my lap? You come up here? Here's Snow. Here's Snow. There she is, Miss America. The more I don't train Sam, the more he'll sit in his cage and not engage with his environment. The only thing he engages with is his bell that he likes hanging over his shoulder. And it's been Rocky. It's been a very busy week here, especially with the holidays. We're kind of on a skeleton crew with people being off for the holidays. So the more I see him just sitting in the cage, that's negative reinforcement at work for me. It forces me into, or makes me want to get him out of the cage. The more this is the importance in training. The more I interact with him, the more he comes out of his cage, the more he starts, that's every morning he's so vocal. Hi, Sam. Hi, Sam. So that's even training. Even if the animal can hear you, you're training it. Yesterday, he's like, how are you? And we both heard it. The more I interact with him, the more I see him wanting to interact. The less I interact with him, the less I see him wanting to interact. So this is a photo from last night of we rearranged his cage, pushed it up next to this large cage. This is the cage we had the porcupine in, the Eurasian eagle owl. And what I'm doing is I'm standing on, and this is really important, the where he sits. There he is. Hello. Hello, Sam. Hello. There's the bell. Sam. If you don't open his cage, he'll start going, hello, hello, hello. We rearranged his cage, pushed it up next to a large cage. Now, note, if I'm sitting here looking at him, these are key points, environmental events that you need to pay attention to. If you don't, your line of communication with that animal is going to be limited. So I observe him, and I've never worked with a blind parrot before. So I sit here and observe him, and I can read his behavior of when he's listening. Now the radio is to his right, and I may think I'm being quiet and not making a noise, and I will walk up and I just stand in front of him in his cage. He knows I'm there. He'll see him go like this, and then he comes out of the cage, and I'm like, all right, what environmental events? Hi, baby girl. Snow. What environmental events are happening where he can tell that I'm here? So I'm standing right in front of him. There's his cage. Here's the radio. Guess what's happening? The sound of the radio is bouncing off of my chest. He can hear that. Sorry. He can hear that, and he responds to it. So I'm taking his cage, and we're talking about this in level 2, because it's all about applied behavior analysis. It's all about environmental events. So I take his cage and I turn it. If I leave the radio on, he gets confused because now the sound of the radio doesn't match where he's used to sitting in his cage, and it confuses him. So what I do is I'm starting to turn off, and I'm learning about all of this and understanding this just through interacting with him. If I leave that radio on and turn his cage, he tends to not interact with me because the sound of the radio is not coming from the same direction from where he's at on his cage. And I can tell he's getting confused, and he'll He'll actually get confused, even though he hasn't moved on his cage. He'll get lost in how to get back in his cage. So I turn the radio off, and then I move his cage. And then I call him up onto the top of the cage next, and this is all behaviors I've shaped. I'll take the bell in the beginning. In the beginning of my training, I had to use the bell, and I had to use food because I had no other reinforcers. Because I've continually, and this is the same, I find myself in the same predicament when I'm working with unsocialized animals and injured wildlife. That's going to be turned into, that are going to be used for educational animals. These animals, woo, 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 I should have gotten to botany. My life would have been, I could be sitting here listening to jazz music, sipping a mimosa, playing with my plants, and still have my eardrums in my sanity. One thing I joke around about here is one Christmas song we do not sing here is "Do You Hear What I Hear?" Because the chances are pretty high that no, they can't. Tickle wickle. But anyways, those are all environmental factors that you have to pay attention to. What I was saying, if you're working with unsocialized, comma, fearful, comma, injured wildlife, and so much more, a lot of times the only thing you have to work with, sometimes you don't have food to work with. Food is not high enough valued reinforcer. But over consistent pairing and training, those things become conditioned reinforcers. You wouldn't have loved botany. I did have an interest in geology, botany, paleontology. So in the beginning, a lot of times, and with Sam, the only thing I had was his bell to work with because he wasn't used to being handed food. I know that. I can tell by his behavior. So that first night in the hotel room with him on my way back from New Jersey, that's what I was doing, was just handing him food, ringing his bell, and observing how he, very pretty, interacted with his bell. Because very pretty, Rocky. That is so pretty. Rico's like, that's not pretty, that's stupid. Because I've consistently paired myself with those things, I don't have to use the bell. Very rarely do I have to use the bell now. Now he just wants to follow my voice because everything paired with my voice has been desired consequences of his. That's the animal telling me that. That's me identifying and using those. That's how I started working with a lot of wildlife because they want nothing to do with you. When I first started working with Sam, if I had to experiment, I made a lot of mistakes. I would touch the top of his head and he would just lunge. If there's something, if his bell hit him in the crate from a different location, he would lunge and attack it. If I were to walk up to him right now and touch his toes, he would lunge and attack. Pay attention. Those lunges, those attacks, those bites mean something. Those are a form of communication from the animal. I don't want to see a lunge. I don't want to see a bite. I don't ever want to get bit by Sam. That means I've pushed him too far and past his comfort level. Number two, it's paired with me, and I'm on my way of turning myself into an aversive. So pay attention to those behaviors. Those mean something. So Shelley says, oops. Oh, Adrian says a study of one. Absolutely. And Shelley says difference between Sam and Preston show how each animal needs individualized training plan. So true. So true. People will contact me and say, I've got a quick question. And I was like, I bet it's quick, but I bet you the answer is going to take about an hour. At least. It's probably going to take a month. That's why we have the memberships in the projects, because I can answer your question, but then where am I when you have the next question? Because I guarantee you're going to have another one. That's why I designed the memberships in the projects, because I have you all year long, and I can watch you in your training and help you and keep you moving forward. And I'm wagging. Oh, he's got to see this. Oh man, I just moved. It was Snow kissing Quincy kissing Snow's face. So anyways, and then this happened. Yeah, Sam. So I've had to start with Sam at the time. I had to start with, we could have a whole episode on Sam. Regardless, target training is happening right there. His forehead to my lips to his forehead. As you hear me say, we don't learn from easy. If things are easy, we're not learning. That's why I drove to North Carolina and got a deaf and blind dog. I need to advance my skills. I need to keep myself challenged, and keep myself mentally stimulated. And it's all about balance while giving back to these animals. All right? Making sure these animals are mentally and physically engaged. I never wanted to be a professional animal trainer. They're playing. My background is in communications, documentary filmmaking, I do have a history of public speaking because I'm so interested in communications. I wanted to be a photojournalist that traveled overseas and documented things people probably don't want to see. Then it turned into, I've always had a love for animals, but never thought I would have much of a career in it. But yeah, so my bachelor's degree is in documentary filmmaking. Good morning, Jen. Then through my love of animals, Snow's barking at Quincy. Quincy isn't there. Quincy's already moved. My love of animals, so I went back to school and took master's level classes in applied behavior analysis for one particular animal, but now it's spread to all these different animals, and I prefer to work with exotics. So many of my friends are professional dog trainers, and they do it very well. I like to work with exotics to back up what they're saying. I like to work with exotics or special needs to help back up what my professional animal dog training friends are saying about the importance of using applied behavior analysis and positive reinforcement. Because a lot of people are like, oh, well, I can just force my dog to do this and it'll do it. Yeah, but sorry about your head, Snow. Yeah, it will do it, but there are consequences there. What school did I go to for your master's level classes? I never finished because it was all geared towards, the rest of it was geared towards autism. And maybe I'll finish the certificate one day, but I went as far as I had to. The last 3 courses I was going to take were geared towards autism, and I was not interested in that. Was University of Northern Texas. So, which is very highly noted and ranked for their work in applied behavior analysis. So what I do is I back up my friends that train dogs professionally, with dogs may be more resilient to the use of force. You try that with a turkey vulture, a giraffe, an alligator, you may have a little bit different consequences. They're not going to be as resilient. I like working with undomesticated exotics because the power in the statement is there to back up what these people are saying. There is see, Carrie says, there is training, but what you do is thoughtful training. You put so much thought into your training. That makes you a great trainer. Thank you. My best teachers are these animals. In my classes that I took, nothing was relating to animals. It was all people with special needs, okay? Applied behavior analysis is very popular in the field of autism because you use force or coercion, you're going to get side effects and you're not going to see that person or student blossom. I don't want to see an increase in escape avoidance behavior through my training. I want to see animals excited, interacting. Sam will work for me for the opportunity to get close to my voice, all right? Not drinking coffee this morning. I'm drinking water, and this is my Christmas gift from Laura Zitzelberger, Director of Operations at Nature's Nursery. She stopped over yesterday and delivered some mice and showed me this mug. I don't know if you can see it. It's Willie flying to my glove. Great gifts. Great gift. Yeah, exactly, Tim. Exactly. All of the work, all of my past work, none of it was with animals. It's all with humans. And a lot of the courses or seminars that I attend, very little are about animals. I am focusing on people focusing in applied behavior analysis. A lot of the books I read, not necessarily about animals. They're about B.F. Skinner, case studies. There's a great, if you guys remind me, it's on my phone. There's a great book out there, and it's about the misdiagnosis of behavior or illnesses, I don't know what you want to call them, in children today. When people forget, children are just being children. Okay, hang on. Okay, trying to get that off there, Tim. And I can't. There we go. So, yes, experimental behavior analysis. I'm getting ready. The end of January 31st, I'm flying to Montreal. Whew, talk about outside my comfort zone. Flying somewhere where nobody speaks English. Karen can back me up. Karen's been helping me trying to book a place to stay, and I'm like, I can't understand what they're saying. I can't read if I'm supposed to confirm this, and I accidentally canceled my my room where I'm staying, so Karen had to get on the phone. So I'm flying into Montreal where nobody speaks English, taking a subway to somewhere I have no idea where I'm going. But the cool thing is, I'm speaking for 2 days to a group of professional trainers, but not limited to. 2 whole days on abnormal repetitive behaviors in exotics, and the work of using applied behavior analysis to change and how this can help the professional dog training world as well. I do a lot of work with these 3 dogs you see here in this photo. Quincy on the left, Snow, our deaf and blind dog, blind border collie in the middle, and Levi, our deaf dog, on the right. I have them all in the down position. Quincy, she's like, yeah. I communicate with her verbally, visually, and some tactile. Snow in the middle, I communicate with her via touch. That's why I tell people, like in the open house, don't just reach down and pet Snow. Everybody's going to want to pet her head. She's going to start. She does not like her head touched, and you pet and touch her, you're probably going to get some frustration because those touches mean certain things to her, and she's going to expect something in return, but you may not understand what you're communicating to her, and she's not going to understand why you're not doing the things to deliver reinforcers for the behavior she just gave. Hello, Sam. Oh, there's an app. I'm going to have to go back and rewatch. If somebody can message me an app that helps me translate, I would be forever grateful to you. Okay, so next on the list. All right, we've got some exciting news about Rocky, but we're not allowed to talk about it. Okay, I was just contacted last week by a company. Cockatoo. And Rocky and I are going to be headed on a trip. And you'll find out more about that. We're going to be headed on a trip the middle of January. Oh. Oh. Woo. Woo. Hi, Sam. He's like, that's not what I was saying. Rocky and I are headed on a trip. This is something he's never done before, something I've never done before, something we're going to be both very unfamiliar with. This is going to add a lot of work to my schedule, but I agreed to do it for Rocky. Right on cue. I agreed to do it for Rocky because this is a bird that was going to be put to sleep for his behavior issues. And now, and I'll be able to tell you more in March, but I've been told I'm not allowed to say anything. Can't wait to see it. I will see, I'll be leaving in about 2 weeks. I'll see what photos, videos we can share, live streams, but I'm going to be able to share so much with you in March. And I'm going to see if I can bring a couple special guests on with me for a live stream here on Coffee with the Critters from this company and talk about, this is a pretty big endeavor. Talk about how we did this, why we did this, how we went about it, some things that were happening behind the scenes. And I especially just want to show the pictures of smiles on people's faces that this bird is going to bring. And I told them, you don't know Rocky, be prepared. There's a reason we call him Rocky Valentine. You are going to fall in love. Okay, so I'm going to have to rewatch this live stream and get these translation apps that you guys are talking about. So I'll be heading off with Rocky in a couple weeks. 2 weeks after that, I'm heading up to Montreal for this workshop. And then something else is happening in February. Oh, February, I'll be in Montreal. The end of February, we are going to have another live stream, Coffee with the Critters, with yours truly right there, Nancy Forrester. I'll be down in Key West towards the end of February again. We just had, if you guys have parrots and you're not in the Parrot Project, you need to seriously consider. We just had a great past week and a half where we did all kinds of live streams with all the rescues that were in the Parrot Project, people that have products in the Parrot Projects. Am I driving or flying? I'm going to be driving. I won't fly, Rocky. I won't fly any of my birds for a couple different reasons. One is because I'm not familiar with it. I know what the pressure in the airplane does to my head, so I don't know what it does to the birds. So I choose, if I do anything with my birds, I drive them. If I have to fly, and believe me, people have contacted me to do things with my birds that I've turned down. If there is no benefit to the bird or that individual animal, I turn it down. And we've turned down some pretty big deals. Where people offered to pay us handsomely and have us on TV, stuff like that, I've turned it down. If there's no real benefit in it for that in particular animal, I'm not interested. That's not what we're about. So anyways, yeah, that's some of the things. Oh, Deb Jones is going to be coming here in March. So we're going to have another Coffee with Critters in March. I believe it's the 10th with Deb Jones. She's the one that came here and co-presented, my first time ever co-presenting a workshop with anybody. Hello. Very few people have I partnered myself with. And that one was Deb Jones and one was Patricia Anderson, if she's still on here. Very few organizations I've affiliated myself with, and one is the Veterinary Behavior Team out of Ohio State University, the club and the Exotic Club, and the Autism Model School, which happens to be right here in Toledo, Ohio. It's a gym, and it's about 5 miles down the street from me. So yeah, that's March. Deb, we're going to be talking about our next workshop coming up in October. And Deb and I are actually thinking about offering together a little more than just a workshop. We're thinking about putting together an advanced skills workshop, but there's going to be things you have to do to be able to get into it. I'd like to, how do I do it? Pat is there, yes, there's the awesome Patricia Anderson. How do you do what, Jill? Get into our memberships and projects. If that's what you're talking about, you can go to our website. And I think you just click on products or services. I don't know if Karen's still here. Click on products or services and you'll see the memberships and the projects. Level 1 membership is going to be changing after the first of the year and things I think you're going to like. And level 2, we're bringing so much more. Come here. Get back on here with me. She's like, but I'm not allowed to jump. Hello. Hello. So let me get this screen a little bigger for you. This is Snow, our deaf and blind dog. Okay, Quincy, come on, up here. Okay, this is Quincy, our... Now Snow's getting upset because she knows Quincy's on my lap. Peekaboo! Yeah, so, yeah, you want to be in the holiday open house with us? So anybody want to come on live with me? Let me know right now, right here this morning on Coffee with the Critters. But I have a disease called hemophilia. I have to take an IV injections to help me not bleed. Huge on training, huge on no biting. I have learned everything from Laura on training. Being able to work a full-time job from this darn disease. I'm currently on disability and cannot afford to participate in the program. That cost, I apologize. Tim, no need to apologize. Snow's behind me moving the cage. No need to apologize. That's why I do things like this, Coffee with the Critters. That's why I do things like our email newsletter. So if any of you following aren't on our email newsletter list, I'm trying to send an email out for the holidays. I've got very limited time to do that now because I've got today. Tomorrow's going to be full of Christmas parties. I'm having Christmas here at my house on Tuesday. But back to work, I'll be working throughout the holidays. Believe me, I can't not work because when people have questions in the projects or the memberships, I see that on my phone and I respond. When I went to Thanksgiving, am I talking with my hands too much? When I went to Thanksgiving in Cleveland with my family, I took my computer and I was sitting down at the end of the dinner table on my laptop working on things that need to be done by the next day. They're like, don't you ever stop? And I'm just like, hey, I choose to do my work via live streaming because it can take me anywhere. And a lot of times people, I'll be on the beach working on my computer and people are like, don't you ever stop? And I was just like, I love what I do. I absolutely love what I do. I think that shows, huh? What do you mean, huh? You don't think I love what I do? Oh. Snow just put herself in. I'll take that. Are you giving me some lip? You want some of this? I'm going to give you some of this. Right in the kisser. Right in the kisser. You two, come here. You sit. Nice job. I love you too, Levi. This is Levi, our deaf dog. Came to us New Year's Eve 5 years ago. So people are out partying on New Year's Eve. What am I doing? That's him telling Quincy, stay away. Resource guarding, what we're going to be talking about next weekend. That's a pretty hefty warning. So yeah, but oh, thanks, Pat. Pat put up the link for the memberships. I love what I do. I'll be working when I'm in Key West. I'll be working the whole time I'm in a couple weeks on the road. But people, I've created a business where I can work on the beach. And I'm cool with that. I'm cool with working on vacations. Snow has put herself in the crate and playing with her own toys. So anyways, yeah, much of your success, Laura, is your passion and tenacity, which drives you to work harder than anyone else I know. Yeah. Thank you, Katie. I appreciate that. And Katie's been here. She's been at my former house before. I'm going to have a future live stream on, so you want to get in the animal training business, huh? Let me tell you what. If you love it, go for it. Don't let anybody tell you no. So many people have told me not to do this. So many people have told me not to do this. And if I were to have listened to them, none of this would exist. None of these animals would be there. I will tell you, I probably would have been sitting down playing with some pretty little plants. Maybe that's not a bad idea. And you don't think that's funny? You wouldn't be here either. Oh, now you get quiet. So anyways, I will tell you, I've never worked so hard in my life. Look at Ollie. See Ollie? Right there, touch. Right there. I've never worked so hard in my life. I will retire, but retiring means tell me that deaf and blind dog does not have quality of life. You're right here. She's trying to come out. There you go. Yes, you silly girl. You put yourself in your crate. I gotta watch for things like that so she doesn't hit her head on an open door. So anyways, like I was saying, I've never worked so hard in my life. I will retire. What does that mean? I have no idea. I have no idea. That means I'll still be live streaming, but from a beach somewhere. I'll be target training iguanas on a beach with a cockatoo on my head, a pigeon on my toe, and a pig laying beside me in the sun. So anyway, I did ask Karen and Sandy if they wanted to come in a little early today and jump on Coffee with the Critters. I thought that might make a good ending to this live stream. Terry says the golden learning statement of the morning: don't listen to others if it's your passion. Yeah. Like I say, I don't learn from easy. When I saw this building, well, I told my husband, I'm on a mission. I am going to open a place called the Animal Behavior Center where I teach people, hey, there they are, where I teach people all over the world how to do this. And he's like, yeah, right. Well, then this happened less than a year later. So here's Karen Pratt, our manager.
Hi.
And here's Sandy. It's up to you if you want to. Hi. There she is. Happy birthday, Sandy. And Karen's birthday's in 2 days on Christmas. Hi. So, yeah. Huh?
Yeah. Can you open this while you're on there?
Sure, if you want me to.
Yeah.
They got a Christmas present for me that they want me to open. I was not expecting anything from you guys.
This is really fragile.
Okay. Well, I wasn't expecting this. I was expecting you guys to come in and jump on so everybody could see you. Okay, let's scoot this over. Am I going to cry?
Maybe. No.
Which should I open first? This one?
The flat one, yeah.
Okay. Totally wasn't expecting this. Oh, that's cool. Snow day. So is this something I opened?
Yeah. Sorry, she's taped.
That's all right.
I was trying to touch it.
I just don't want to drop it. Quincy, that's
I'm opening it for you.
okay. Let me see. Oh my gosh! How in the hell did you guys do this?
I didn't do it. I wish I was at that.
Oh my gosh! This is so cool. This is what? I'll turn around and show this to you guys. That's pretty cool. It's a tile.
Yeah.
You guys see that? Of Levi, Quincy, and Snow.
It's an alcohol hand painting. She does it with alcohol.
Alcohol.
If you look really close, that's why it's kind of like
Pinkish.
bubbly and
Yeah. Like.
yeah.
Oh, okay. All right. I see. That is so cool.
What she did was she took a bunch of pictures. Took a bunch of pictures that I provided her, and she went off of those pictures and made that.
That is so cool. So this is a tile.
Yeah, and you set it up on that thing.
Okay, so it sits up on a stand. Obviously, this is going upstairs in the house.
That is kind of fragile.
So it doesn't break. Thank you, guys.
You're welcome.
That's pretty cool. I love it.
Awesome.
So was there, I saw you unwrapping something else.
There's just more stuff.
Did you want me to unwrap that on here?
It's
Yeah, I'll do it. Oh, this is cute. Is this your idea? Did you find this?
no, actually that was mine.
saw that post.
And just a bunch of goodies in a snow day thing.
Yay! A bunch of cookies, candy in a container that says Snow Day. I love it. Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right. Well, thank you both very much. Did you guys want to say anything to anybody?
Okay, I just want to say thank you for all the words of encouragement over the past year. Some of you know I had a really rough year. All the thoughts and prayers that you guys offered me was so appreciated. And it just shows how awesome you guys all are. So I just wanted to say thank you for a great year.
Yes, that's Karen Pratt, our manager. Those of you that are in the projects and the memberships. Karen's my right hand in there, probably more than that. Helping everybody with everything. So thank you, everybody. And let's see, what did I just do? Next week, don't forget, if you want to join us, we're going to be live streaming with Daphne Hamilton. We're going to be talking about resource guarding and several other factors in dog training. Don't forget to sign up for our email newsletter. And I want to wish everybody a very special holiday season. Happy holidays. Merry Christmas. Thanks for everything you do. Thanks for supporting us, whether that's being in our projects or memberships or just attending our live streams or telling people about us that may need our help. All right, everybody. Happy holidays. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Bye.